వెనకాల నాగలు తగిలి గుండెకెళ్ళిపోద్ది రోడ్ అంతా. క్యారేజ్ ఉంటే బాగుండేది. క్యారేజ్ అంతటి పోతాయి సైకిల్. ఏ పరాటి ఎవరు రాలేదు ఇంకా.
Hello? All of you join fast. Hello? Okay. In the last class, I completed three-dimensional heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates, cylindrical coordinates, and spherical coordinates. Next topic, study and unstudied state heat transfer and periodic heat transfer. So in the conduction, what is steady state heat conduction? What is unsteady state heat conduction? What is periodic heat conduction? Here, in the case steady state, what is steady state? If any property does not vary with time, then it is in steady state. If any property does not vary with time, then that property is in steady state. For example, we heat a block or heat a material. If the temperature of the body does not vary with time, for example, if you measure the temperature of the body at 10 a.m., if it is 100 degrees centigrade, and after 1 hour at 11 a.m., if we measure the temperature of the body is same temperature, that 100 degrees centigrade, the temperature is not changing with respect to time. So if you consider it conduction heat transfer, that is steady state conduction heat transfer, the temperature but does not vary with time, then the body is said to be in steady state condition. That's why in the heat transfer, so while conducting experiments, always after reaching the steady state, in the laboratories, if while doing experiments, so we have to take the temperatures after the body reaching the steady state. And if we take the conduction heat transfer, if the temperature of the body, while during conduction heat transfer, if the temperature of the body does not vary with the time, then the body is said to be in steady state condition. That kind of heat transfer, conduction heat transfer, is known as steady state conduction heat transfer, steady state heat transfer. What is unsteady state heat transfer? If the temperature of the body varies with time, and then we can say that the body is in unsteady or transient state condition. So the temperature of the body varies with the time, then that phenomenon is known as unsteady state heat transfer. Unsteady state or transient heat conduction. So unsteady state is also known as if the temperature vary, okay, na, that is the difference between steady state and unsteady state. Unsteady state heat conduction is also known as transient heat conduction. Transient heat conduction. Steady state conduction. Here temperature is constant with time. Difference between steady state conduction, steady state heat transfer and unsteady state heat transfer. The temperature is constant with respect to time, then that is steady state. If the temperature varies with time, that is unsteady state heat transfer. And in the unsteady steady state, there is no variation of rate of heat transfer. No variation of rate of heat transfer. That is temperature constant. Here in the unsteady state, there is variation of rate of heat transfer. Variation of rate of heat transfer. Other difference in the steady state, the change of internal energy in a given time interval will be zero. In the steady state, for example, if you take the conduction heat transfer, three-dimensional conduction heat transfer in Cartesian coordinates, what is the equation? Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square by dou z square plus q dot by k is equal to 1 by alpha dou t by dou time. Dou capital T by dou time. Variation of temperature with respect to time. So, if the variation of temperature with respect to time is zero, then the internal energy, the change of internal energy in a given time interval will be zero. That is dE by dt is equal to zero. That is dou t by dou small time, small t, time. That if that is zero, then there is no change of internal energy. No change of internal energy in the steady state. But in the unsteady state, that component will be there. That is dou E by dou t or dE by dt. That is change of internal energy in a given time internal will not be zero. In the unsteady state, the change of internal energy in a given interval will not be zero. So like that, you can differentiate steady state heat transfer and unsteady state heat transfer. Okay, na? So if you take the general heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates, the mathematical expression or equation for a constant heat conductivity is dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus q dot by k. Here he has given another notation, don't worry. E dot generation or q dot, same. Q dot by k is equal to 1 by alpha dou capital T by dou small t, variation of temperature with respect to time. So this is a three-dimensional heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates. For example, if you take steady state, so here this term is 0, 1 by alpha dou t by dou small t, because variation of temperature with respect to time is 0. So variation of temperature with respect to time is 0 in the steady state condition. That's why if you take the general heat conduction equation, three-dimensional heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates, this term is equal to 0 for steady state condition. That's why dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus q dot by k is equal to 0. For a steady state, three-dimensional general heat conduction equation is dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus q dot by k is equal to 0. And with the steady state, and also at the same time, If there is no internal heat generation, then dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square, dou square T by dou z square is equal to 0. This term becomes 0 if there is no heat generation. That is steady state. But unsteady state, this one, steady state, no heat generation, dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 0. And for unsteady state or transient, unsteady state is also known as transient heat conduction, unsteady state heat conduction, or unsteady state heat transfer. And unsteady state and no heat generation, what is the equation? Three-dimensional general heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates for unsteady state and no heat generation. No heat generation, Q dot by K is equal to 0. And unsteady state, this term will be available, will be there. That is dou T by dou small t. That will be there. So for unsteady state or transient heat conduction, if there is no heat generation, the general heat conduction equation is dou square T by dou z square, dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 1 by alpha dou capital T by dou small t. So for unsteady state and no heat generation, the equation is the dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 1 by alpha dou T by dou small t. So sometimes in the final exam is asking, derive the three-dimensional heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates and deduce the equation for the following condition. Reduce the equation for the following condition. You will be giving like this. What is the equation for steady state and heat generation? You have to write this equation. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus Q dot by K is equal to 0. And the second bit, deduce the equation for steady state and no heat generation. For steady state and no heat generation, dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 0. That is the second bit. For third bit, sometimes you will be asking, what is the equation for transient and no heat generation? You have to write this equation. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 1 by alpha dou capital T by dou small t. So like that, you'll be asked to deduce the equation for different conditions. For example, this is a steady state, no heat generation, and for three-dimensional heat conduction equation. That is dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square is equal to 0. For example, if you asked to write the equation for two-dimensional and steady state, two-dimensional and no heat generation, what is the equation? For steady state, no heat generation and two-dimensional heat conduction equation. What is that one? So you can remove one coordinate, that z coordinate. So that is, so you have to write like this. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square is equal to 0 for two dimensions. X, if you consider x and y, and steady state and no heat generation, the equation is dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square is equal to 0. Similarly, for steady state and no heat generation and one-dimensional heat conduction equation, dou square T by dou x square is equal to 0. Only one direction. Dou square T by dou x square is equal to 0. Like that, you can reduce the equation for Cartesian coordinate condition as well as that cylindrical coordinates as well as spherical coordinates. You can write equations like this. So that's about what is steady state and unsteady state. Steady state and unsteady state. Next. So what is periodic conduction heat transfer? Periodic heat transfer. Periodic heat transfer. So that can be explained. So by taking the example of your building. Taking the example of building. So periodic conduction heat transfer. So for during daytime, in the nature, the variation of climatic conditions produces a non-steady state or unsteady state. So diurnal variations produce an approximately repetitive 24-hour cycle of increasing or decreasing temperatures. The effect of this on a building is that in the hot period, heat flows from the outdoors into the building, where some of it is stored, and at night during the cool period, the heat flow is reversed from the building to the outside. So as cycle is one day like that, and second day repeated. That's why as this cycle is repetitive, it is described as periodic heat flow. Periodic heat flow. So periodic conduction heat transfer. Periodic conduction heat transfer. So if you can consider building, household building, in the daytime, the building wall temperature increases as the temperature outside temperature increases. Slowly, the temperature of the wall increases. And at the evening, what will happen? Outside temperature decreases. As the outside temperature decreases, because after getting the steady state, then the inside temperature will be more than that of the outside temperature. Then slowly the heat is transferred from the building wall to the outside air or outside environment. So this is during daytime, and after during night, the temperature, the cycle is repetitive, and during the cold period, that during night, the heat flow is reverse. That is from building to outside environment. So this kind of, because one day that we will say repeated, and similar second day also same procedure is process is repeated. That's why it is known as periodic. Periodic. So morning and evening, one period. Again next day, morning, daytime and night time. That is one period. So this is known as, this type of heat transfer is known as periodic conduction heat transfer from the wall of the building. So as the cycle is repetitive, it is described as periodic heat flow. Periodic heat flow. And the diurnal variations of the external and internal temperatures of the building is a periodic cycle. In the morning, as the outdoor temperature increases in the morning or in the daytime, as the outdoor temperature increases, heat starts entering the outer surface of the wall of the building. Each particle in the wall will absorb a certain amount of heat for every degree rise in the temperature. That depending upon the what specific heat of the wall material, specific heat of the wall. Conduction heat transfer, how do you minus Ka dt by d small t, and in the specific heat. So thermal conductivity K depends upon the specific heat of the wall material. So conduction heat transfer, if you take the wall conduction heat transfer, so the every degree rise in the outside temperature, so the wall temperature increases. Heat to the extent next particle in the wall or in the building wall, heat to the next particle of the wall will only be transmitted after the temperature of the first particle is increased. That is conduction heat transfer. Conduction heat transfer within the wall. Thus, the corresponding increase in the internal temperature will be delayed. So then, once that is as once the temperature increases, wall temperature increases, and in the evening that outside temperature decreases, and the temperature of the wall reaches one like steady state temperature. After that, the temperature of the wall is more than that of the during night. The temperature of the wall, so in the evening, the temperature of the wall is more than that of the outside environment temperature, and slowly the heat is transferred from wall to the outside environment. So next, the outdoor temperature reaches its peak and starts decreasing in the evening before the inner surface temperature has reached the same level. From this moment, the heat stored in the wall will be dissipated partly to the outside and only partly to the inside. And after that, the steady state reached. As the outdoor air cools, an increasing proportion of this stored heat flows outwards. So that is reverse, heat transfer reverse from the wall to the outside outside air. So, and when the wall temperature falls below the indoor temperature, the direction of the heat flow is completely reversed. That is, in the evening, heat transfer from the wall to the outside environment. But at the daytime, during the noon time, afternoon, the temperature outside is more, heat transfer from outside to building wall or inside, outside to inside. And in the evening, the temperature of the air, outside air is decreases, heat transfer from inside to outside. So that is a repetitive cycle, a periodic cycle or repetitive cycle. That's why this type of heat transfer is known as periodic conduction heat transfer. Periodic conduction heat transfer. Okay, now that's about briefly what is steady state heat conduction, what is unsteady state heat conduction, what is periodic heat conduction. Periodic heat conduction. Next. So next topic in this conduction heat transfer, boundary and initial conditions. Sometimes while solving any problem, you have to apply the boundary conditions and you have to give some initial condition. Initial condition, for example, just like wall, what is the temperature, outside temperature initially, and what is the inside temperature initially. After some time, what is the inside temperature, what is the outside temperature. Those are the boundary conditions. Boundary conditions and initial conditions. For any heat transfer problem analysis, if you take any furnace, or if you take wall of the furnace, wall of the building, or in the heat transfer, wall of the heat exchanger, they always there is conduction, convection, heat transfer will be there, radiation heat transfer, sometimes one mode of conduction, one mode of heat transfer, that is conduction. Sometimes two modes, conduction and convection. Sometimes conduction, convection, radiation. Like that, if you consider this boundary and initial conditions, sometimes you have to apply these boundary conditions for your any heat transfer problem. So that may be furnace wall, or that may be heat exchanger wall. Like that, there are number of applications are there in industries. So the object of deriving heat conduction equation, that is already we derived heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates, cylindrical coordinates, spherical coordinates. The object of deriving the heat conduction equation is to determine the temperature distribution within the conducting body. What is the temperature distribution? What is the temperature distribution in the x direction? What is the temperature distribution in the y direction? What is the temperature distribution in the z direction? What is the variation of temperature with respect to time? That is the heat conduction equation. Already given. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus q dot by k is equal to 1 by alpha dou capital T by dou small t. That is variation of temperature. Dou capital T by dou small t. Variation of temperature with respect to time. That's why conduction equation is, what is the use of conduction equation? To determine the temperature distribution within the body, conducting body. So we have set up a differential equation with t as dependent variable. Already given that equation, that is already told. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou square T by dou z square plus q dot by k is equal to 1 by alpha dou capital T by dou small t. The variation of temperature. So this is a dependent variable. with respect to it depends upon the direction, x direction, y direction. Temperature depends upon x direction, y direction, z direction, and also the time. Also, that's why temperature it depend upon x comma y comma z comma time. If it is steady state, there will not be any time. That's why for steady state, the solution gives us temperature depends upon x, y, and z. The solution depends on boundary conditions. Solution will give us in the three directions, and solution depends upon the boundary conditions and initial conditions. BC boundary conditions, IC initial conditions. So for any this heat transfer problem, so how many boundary conditions are required? How many initial conditions are required? So heat equation or heat conduction equation, second order in spatial coordinate, that is dou square T by dou x square, dou square T by dou y square, dou square T by dou z square. So second order equation spatial coordinates means x coordinates, x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate, spatial in x direction, y direction, z direction. So heat equation is second order, that is dou square, that's why second order in spatial coordinate. Hence, if it is second order, two boundary conditions needed for each coordinate. Because dou square T by dou x square, one coordinate x coordinate. So that's why, so for x coordinate, one dimension, if you consider one dimension of x, two boundary conditions in x direction. Two boundary conditions in x direction. And if the two-dimensional problem, one-dimensional problem, two boundary conditions in the given direction, or in the if it is x direction, and two boundary conditions in x direction. And a two-dimensional, if it is two-dimensional problem, heat transfer problem, two boundary conditions in x direction, two boundary conditions in x direction, as well as two boundary conditions in y direction. If it is two-dimensional heat conduction problem, two boundary conditions in the x direction, as well as two boundary conditions in the y direction. And if it is three-dimensional heat conduction problem, so you have to take two boundary conditions in the x direction, two boundary conditions in the y direction, and two boundary conditions in the z direction. And that is for in the spatial coordinate. And next, in the right hand side, what is the equation? In the equation, what is the right hand side? 1 by alpha dou T by dou small t, temperature variation with respect to time. That's why heat equation dou T by dou small t, dou T only first order in time. Heat equation first order in time. If you see this equation, so dou T by dou small t, that is first order. Here dou square T by dou x square, second order. Dou square, second order. Dou T by dou small t, that is first order in time. Heat equation, heat conduction equation, or otherwise heat conduction equation is first order in time. First order in time. Hence, one initial condition. So one initial condition is needed. Only one initial condition is needed, but boundary conditions depend upon the direction. The single one-dimensional problem, two boundary conditions. If two-dimensional problem, two boundary conditions in one direction, and two boundary conditions in other direction. And if it is three-dimensional problem, so two boundary conditions in one direction, and two boundary conditions in second direction, and three boundary conditions in third direction. For example, if it is x, y, z, x, y, z. Like that, these are the boundary conditions. Next, so with the diagram, I'll explain what are the, in a clear-cut way, what are the boundary conditions. Generally, boundary condition of first kind, boundary condition of second kind, boundary condition of third kind, boundary condition of fourth kind. What are these? We'll discuss now. Okay. Commonly encountered boundary conditions are, so if you take a block, a steel, thickness of the material, steel material or copper material, aluminum material, it is conducting through this material, conduction heat transfer. Conduction heat transfer. So the heat transfer equation, one direction, we can say only one direction, dou square T by dou x square is equal to 0, steady state. no heat generation. Dou square T by dou x square is equal to 0. Here, so in the first kind, prescribed temperature condition at the boundaries. What is temperature at the left hand side? What is temperature at the right hand side? Prescribed temperature condition at the boundaries. So left boundary, what is temperature? Right boundary, what is temperature? For example, in this example, so at the left side, left face 150 degrees. T1, for example, 150 degrees. If you take the right face, temperature 70 degrees. So this is the boundary kind of first kind. Temperature conditions at the boundaries. What are the temperatures at the boundaries? If you give that boundary conditions, that is known as boundary condition of the first kind. Dirichlet condition. From the mathematics you can observe. So this boundary condition of first kind. Prescribed temperature. If you prescribe temperatures at the boundaries, that is boundary condition of the first kind. For example, here x direction. X is equal to 0 here. X is equal to L. That is thickness of the material. So instead of dx, from now onwards, I will take the thickness as L. Thickness as L. At x is equal to 0, x is equal to L. X direction. At x is equal to 0, x is equal to L. So what is temperature at x is equal to 0 at a given time small t? What is temperature at x is equal to 0 and at a given time small t? That is 150 degrees centigrade. And what is the temperature at x is equal to L? Temperature, capital T temperature, capital T temperature. So what is temperature at x is equal to L and at a given time T? That is 70 degrees. So temperature at any given x at any given time. So here temperature at x is equal to 0 and at a given time T 150 degrees centigrade. Temperature, capital T, temperature in Kelvin. Temperature at x is equal to L at a given time, small t, at a given time is equal to 70 degrees. That's why T1 is equal to 150 degrees, T2 is equal to 70 degrees. What is T1? T at x is equal to 0 and at a given time T. That is T1. And what is T2? What is T2? Temperature at x is equal to L, at a given time small t. So these are temperature conditions. If you prescribe temperature conditions at the boundaries, that kind of boundary condition is known as boundary condition of the first kind. Generally, for any problem, so sometimes you use the temperature boundary conditions, sometimes you will use the heat flux conditions. Heat flux, here temperatures. Next, so if you prescribe heat flux condition at the boundaries, heat flux, then that is a boundary condition of the second kind. Boundary condition of the second kind or Newman condition. So boundary conditions, commonly encountered boundary conditions. First one, temperature prescription, temperatures, boundary conditions. Second one, heat flux. Heat flux, what is heat flux? Small q. Heat transfer rate per unit area, that is known as heat flux, small q. Capital Q is equal to Q by A. So Q naught is equal to Q by capital Q by area, this area, normal area. Conduction heat transfer. So what is conduction heat transfer? So from the Fourier's law of heat conduction, so Q is equal to minus Ka dou T by dou X. At a x is equal to 0 and at a given time small t. So heat flux, you are giving a heat flux of, here at this boundary, you are giving a heat flux of, because this is conduction heat transfer, that heat flux is conducting into the material. That heat is conducting into this material of thickness L. Here x is equal to 0, x is equal to L. That thickness of the material L. So here heat flux, you are prescribing the heat flux at the left hand side, Q naught. That is x is equal to 0. Here you prescribe heat flux as QL, small q. Heat flux means heat flux you can represent with small q. Heat, capital Q. Heat, what is heat flux? Heat transfer Q by A. Q by A. That is the heat flux. Small q. Q by area. So that's why here heat flux condition at the boundaries. At left hand side, Q naught is equal to minus K dou T by dou X. At x is equal to 0 at a given time small t. So heat flux is conducting into the material. That's a conduction heat transfer. So heat flux, you are giving here at the left hand side boundary, you are giving the heat flux. That is the you are prescribing heat flux. So if you prescribe heat flux at the boundaries, that is known as prescribing heat flux condition at the boundaries, known as boundary condition of second kind, Newman condition. That is at x is equal to 0, this is the boundary condition. At x is equal to L, what is the boundary condition? Conduction. That conduction is coming out as a heat flux. How do you calculate conduction heat transfer? From the Fourier law of heat conduction, minus Ka dou T by dou X at x is equal to L and a given time T. So A per unit area, that's why small q here. If you take the area, it is capital Q. But if you consider heat conduction per unit area, that is heat flux. So minus K dou T by dou X at x is equal to L and given time T, that is equal to QL at x is equal to L. Heat flux at x is equal to L. Heat flux at x is equal to L. So this kind of boundary conditions are known as prescribed heat flux conditions at the boundaries. You are prescribing at the left hand side, you are prescribing at the right hand side. What are the quantities here? Heat flux. That's why these, if you prescribe heat fluxes at the boundaries, known as boundary condition of the second kind. Okay na? Next, if you prescribe a heat flux at the boundaries, there are two special cases. Sometimes heat transfer is 0 at the left hand side. Insulated boundary. In this prescribing of heat fluxes, there are two special cases. One is insulated boundary, second is thermal symmetry. Insulated boundary. If left hand surface or left side is insulated, then there is no heat transfer. That is heat flux is equal to 0. But conduction heat transfer, how do you calculate? Dou T by, so minus K per unit area, minus K dou T by dou X at x is equal to 0 at a given time T. So that is equal to 0 because there is no heat is entering into the body. That's why dou T by dou X at x is equal to 0 at a given time T, that is equal to 0. So that's why that is one boundary condition. If it is insulated, that is equal to heat flux is equal to 0. And at the other boundary condition, you are prescribing a temperature, not flux yet temperature. Two boundary heat flux boundary condition, temperature boundary condition. At x is at a temperature at x is equal to L and given time T, the temperature of the right hand surface is 60 degrees centigrade. So like that, prescribed heat flux conditions at the boundaries, there are two special cases. One special case, insulated boundary. Insulated boundary means heat transfer is 0. When the heat transfer becomes 0, dou T by dou X at x is equal to 0 at a given time T, that is equal to 0, then only the heat flux is equal to 0. Heat flux is 0 at the left hand side. And the second special case, thermal symmetry. Here x is equal to, here take a material of thickness L. Here x is in the x direction, x is equal to 0. Here x is equal to L. But at the midpoint, x is equal to L by 2. At the center, that is x is equal to L by 2. But here thermal symmetry, if you heat here, the heat temperature of the body increases and parabolic in nature, and at the center, the slope is 0, then the temperature variation dou T by dou X at x is equal to L by 2 at the center, at x is equal to L by 2 at a given time T, that is equal to 0. That's why at the slope, 0 slope, that is variation of temperature with respect to x, dou T by dou X at x is equal to L by 2 at the center. X is equal to L by 2 at the given time small t, that is equal to 0. That's why 0 slope, there is no heat transfer. And the temperature variation. So here temperature increases and maintain constant at the center, and temperature constant, temperature variation constant at the center, and after that slowly temperature decreases. So temperature decreases. At x is equal to L, that temperature decreases. And x is equal to 0, temperature slowly at low value and increasing and reaches maximum, and after that temperature maintain constant to some extent at the x is equal to L by 2, and after that temperature decreases and at x is equal to L reaches the same value when x is equal to 0. So this center plane is a center plane. that is dou T by dou X at X L by 2 and given time T, then variation of temperature here 0. So this is the two special cases of heat flux conditions, second case, second boundary condition. And similarly, third boundary condition also. Third boundary condition, initial condition is continuation. So convection boundary condition is known as boundary condition of the third kind. Convection boundary condition is known as boundary condition of the third kind. So if you again consider a material thickness of L, material thickness, here x is equal to 0, x is equal to L in the x direction, x is equal to 0, x is equal to L. So convection boundary condition, convection heat transfer, how do you calculate convection heat transfer? HA into T1 minus T2 or T1 minus T wall minus T free stream, T free stream minus T wall, like that. So here H1 convective transfer coefficient for the left side environment, T free stream 1 convective environment for the convective environment temperature, medium temperature, air or example water, that is temperature of the fluid or temperature of the liquid or temperature of the air. So this is convection environment, this is conduction environment, again one more convection environment. So left hand side, if you take the convection, how do you call convection? HA into heat transfer coefficient, convective transfer coefficient area into T free stream. Here T free stream is more than that of temperature here. That's why T free stream minus temperature at x is equal to 0 at a given time T. That's the convective heat transfer per unit area. Convective heat transfer per unit area H1 into temperature of the fluid minus temperature is here like this. Temperature at the wall at x is equal to 0. And if that is convection heat transfer. So convection heat transfer is equal to, what about that heat? That is heat, that much of convection heat is conducting into the material. Conducting into the material. That's why convection heat transfer, that is equal to conduction heat transfer. How much, what is the amount of heat that is being convected, that is being conducted, that same amount of heat is conducted into the this material. That's why convection heat transfer is equal to conduction heat transfer. So convection heat transfer, this is equal to minus Ka dou T by dou X at x is equal to 0 at a given time small t. Ka area, unit area. So per unit area minus K into 1 into dou T by dou X at x is equal to 0 and at small given time T. So variation of temperature with respect to the year. And next, once the heat is conducted from this material, conduction heat transfer, that conduction amount is again convected into the second environment, second fluid environment, second fluid, air or water or any other fluid. So here, second boundary condition here. So conduction heat transfer is equal to convection heat transfer. Conduction, what is conduction at x is equal to L? How do you calculate conduction heat transfer at x is equal to L? At the second boundary, right side boundary, conduction heat transfer is equal to convection heat transfer minus K dou T by dou X at x is equal to L and at a given time small t. Dou T by dou X within the brackets L comma T minus K A unit area 1 minus K into area into 1, that is dou T by dou X at x is equal to L and given time T. That conduction heat transfer, it is, where it is going? That conduction heat is going out and becoming convection heat transfer because you are heating the fluid here. Fluid will be there, air will be there. That's why conduction heat transfer is equal to convection heat transfer. But here H2 is the convective heat transfer coefficient for the second medium fluid. T free stream 2 is the free stream temperature of the second fluid, a temperature of the second fluid. That may be air, that may be liquid, water, that may be any other fluid. So that's why conduction heat transfer, this is equal to H2 into here temperature is more than the temperature of the fluid. That's why temperature at x is equal to L and given time T minus temperature of the fluid here, temperature of the fluid. T free stream 2, T free stream 2, temperature of the fluid. Free stream is temperature of the fluid only. temperature of the free stream or temperature of fluid. So that's why conduction heat transfer is equal to convection heat transfer. So this type of boundary conditions are known as convection boundary condition, or this is known as boundary condition of the third kind. Boundary condition of the third kind. So conduction heat transfer, convection heat transfer. So here again, K minus K dou T by dou X at X is equal to 0 given time, that is equal to H1 T free stream minus T temperature at X is equal to 0 and given time T. This is the left ear, left side boundary condition. Right side boundary condition, conduction heat transfer is equal to, that is minus K dou T by dou X at X is equal to L and T given time small t, that is equal to H2 into T at X is equal to LT minus temperature of the T free stream 2. So this type of boundary conditions are known as convective boundary conditions. So this is known as the boundary condition of third kind. Boundary condition of third kind. And last one, interface boundary condition. Interface is material A, material B. If it combine two materials, there is interface between two materials. Here, interface surface. So the interface boundary condition known as boundary condition of the fourth kind. Interface boundary condition is known as the boundary condition of the fourth kind. Here again, X is equal to 0. X is equal to here X naught or center, not for center. X is equal to center. X naught, here X is equal to L in the X direction. Only one direction we are considering. One dimensional transfer only here. So in the X direction we are considering, and here material A, material B. This is interface. The temperature of the material A at any given location X and any given time small t. Here temperature TB into X comma T. Temperature of the material B, the temperature variation of material B at any given location X at given time T. And the material A, material B. This is the interface. And at the interface, temperature of the material A is equal to temperature of the material B. That is the boundary condition here. So temperature at the interface, temperature of the material A is equal to temperature of the material B. TA means temperature in Kelvin scale of A, material A at a given location X naught at a given time T, that is equal to temperature of B, material B at a given location X naught, given location in X direction X naught and given time T. So TA is equal to TB at the interface. Again, at the interface, what is happening? Conduction from the first material is conducted into the second material. That is the condition here. Boundary condition at the interface. Conduction of the first material is equal to conduction of the second material. So conducting of heat from the first material into the conducting of heat into the second material. So material A, material B. So conduction heat transfer for material A minus K A material A, K A. And into A is not there here, that area for unit area. So Ka material and thermal conductor material A, area 1 and dou Ta by dou X. So temperature variation for the material A, dou Ta, material A at a location, at the central location, interface location X naught and given time small t. That should be equated to what? Conduction in the second material or material B minus Kb, thermal conductor of material B, and dou Tb, variation of temperature in the material B by dou X, variation along the X direction, and at a given location X naught at a given time T. So this is conduction at the interface of the material A is equal to conduction of the material B. So this type of boundary condition, interface boundary condition known as boundary condition of fourth kind. So temperature at the interface, temperature material A, Ta is equal to temperature material B, Tb at X naught comma T, at X naught comma P, X naught comma T, X naught comma T. That is at the interface, at the center or at the interface. Okay na? Next, already explained. So heat conduction in the material A is equal to heat conduction into the material B. Heat conduction from the material A into the heat conduction into the material B. How do you calculate heat conduction? From Fourier's law of heat conduction, minus K A area dou T by dou X. So minus K A thermal conductor material A into area 1. So dou TA, variation of temperature for the material A with respect to x direction, dou TA by dou x at a given location x naught at a given time small t, that is equal to minus kb thermal conductivity of the material B into area 1 into 1, and variation of temperature with respect to x direction for the material B, dou TB, variation of temperature of the material B with respect to dou x, with respect to direction x, at the given location x naught, that is interface. X naught means interface at a given time small t. So minus kb into dou TB by dou x. So the conduction from the material A is equal to conduction into the material B at the interface. At the interface. So this kind of boundary condition is known as boundary condition of the fourth kind. Boundary condition of the fourth kind. Like that, this boundary condition is very, very important. All of you read the, and again, if you doubt, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me today or tomorrow in the next class, or today also. Okay, that's all for today. Any doubts? That's all for today. Any doubt? If there are no doubts, I am closing. Any doubt?